We know we weren't the first ones here. Our stories speak of the ones that came before. The old ones.
One of the big reveals here at E3 this year is Horizon Zero Dawn, something different from Guerrilla Games. Finally, after many, many years, you're embarking on a new adventure, a new world, something very different and very exciting. Can you first sort of tell us just what the synopsis is? What is this?
Yeah, I mean, if we had to kind of sum it up in a sentence, it would be Horizon Zero Dawn is an absolutely beautiful, lush, post-apocalyptic world filled with amazing machines that you'll get an opportunity to enter into very tactical and strategic combat with.
I think it's one of those things. When we saw it at the press conference, obviously the first time we get to see anything of it, very iconic imagery. You think of dinosaurs, but perhaps that's not the case. We're in the future here. The world has sort of rolled back, if you will, reset. And can you tell us a little bit about who you are in this world and what you're doing?
Sure. So you play as Aloy, who's a fierce machine hunter found inside of the world of Horizon Zero Dawn. And we can't really get into too much about her details or her backstory, but one thing that we can say about her is that she is an incredibly intelligent woman who is also incredibly agile. And so one of the advantages that she has when she's trying to take on the robot machines that are found inside of Horizon Zero Dawn is she's quicker. And she also knows the environment. And if those advantages weren't enough, she also has the ability to be a master craftswoman. So she takes elements from the machines themselves and combines those with things that she finds in the world to create some pretty compelling weapons.
What's the significance of a female lead in this game, and what's the thinking that gone into that?
I think the most interesting thing about Horizon Zero Dawn is that it was never not a female lead. From the moment, like literally the very first time that we sketched out the concept, there was a female lead. And for us, Aloy represents just an incredible opportunity to really show off how cool she can be inside of this game. This incredibly agile, again, incredibly intelligent, and just really empathetic character. In fact, in the press conference demo, you can even see she's not this indiscriminate killer. She takes down one of the Watchers, the sort of smaller machines there at the beginning, and she says, "I'm sorry, little one." And there's a story purpose behind that, but I think the ability to kind of play with her emotions and her intelligence and her ingenuity is an important part of what Horizon Zero Dawn is trying to be.
Maybe dancing around that a little bit, but I take it that her relationship to this machine is sort of an important part of the narrative and something that perhaps the players will get to explore in the game.
You're absolutely right. Without getting further into details, it is a really important element of the machines have a relationship not just kind of with the tribes of the world, but also with the world itself. And we won't talk about that too specifically, but the machines are not just something that we threw in and we were like, it would be really cool, robot dinosaurs against a lot of nature. It was, there's a purpose, and I think it's a very cool purpose, and we're looking forward to showing it later down the road.
So one thing that I really love about this sort of post-apocalyptic thing that you're going for is that it's beautiful. Yeah. It's not sort of like a gritty, torn down.
No. Right.
No. Well, I mean, Killzone also had a sense of elegance to it, and this has more of an organic elegance, if you will. Yeah. But it sort of affords you that sort of the color scheme and things that you wouldn't naturally assume with post-apocalyptic. But I really like the way that you've gone for this. Can you tell us a little bit about sort of the world and how you sort of designed it?
Yeah, honestly, this is a lot of the mindchild of our studio art director, Jan Bart van Beek. He really wanted to make a world full of vibrant color. And you can see this with even in the background imagery here, the vibrant greens and the vibrant blues. Those were incredibly important to him. And actually a big part of our game, we call it an open world action RPG, it is one. a large part of it actually takes place outside. A lot of open world action RPGs will take you into a lot of interior spaces, and we have some, of course, but we really want to focus on keeping you in this sort of outer world and really get an opportunity to show off the beauty and the majesty of the world itself, this nature's reclamation of sort of ancient cities and ruins that you might not have expected. And what does that look like 1,000 years later, a building that once stood, a huge skyscraper with just all this sort of growth on it? What does that look like? We think that's really interesting to players, and we hope that they like it.
So the sort of the tribal theme is something that's often found in post-apocalyptic.
Sure.
Maybe not everyone is turning the dial up to the sort of Mad Max levels,
Sure.
but that is present here as well. Can you tell us a little bit about society that is in Zero Dawn?
We're not yet ready to talk about the different tribes. One of the things that you can take away certainly from the press conference demo is the tribes are distinct, and we won't talk about how many there are yet, but you at least saw the potential possibility of two. There's one that obviously is in a very small sort of tribe with the wooded houses. There's another one that's sitting on top of a giant plateau with a technology and sort of an architecture that's seemingly more advanced. So going through the story, you'll find out why those sort of differences occur and how those different tribes sort of evolve.
So the open world, another big theme here.
Yeah.
What kind of things will the open world offer if you take away all the sort of the quests and the main part of it? What kind of activities are there?
So they're, again, not ready to talk too much about the number of different types of activities, but we've got some pretty unique ones. You probably won't be sitting down and playing a poker game inside of Zero Dawn or any tennis or anything like that. But we've got some things that are pretty unique to this post-apocalyptic world, this post-apocalyptic world that we have, and also themed pretty unique to the machines that are found inside of there. So you could probably guess at a couple of things, actually, if you watch the press conference demo again.
All right, we'll do that in slow motion. So this is just the first sort of introduction to the world. Can you tell us a little bit about the road ahead and sort of how long you worked on this and
Sure.
the development?
Sure. So we've been working on it for a couple of years now. And it's a 2016 title, so we're not ready to talk about where exactly in 2016 it's going to fit. But you can certainly look forward to a number of reveals between now and when we release. And one of the things that's really important about us is we don't want to ruin this mystery or the story. Certainly gamers want to understand, like, how do these elements fit together, but it's such an incredibly important piece. I don't know that we're ever really going to get into that in too much detail, but we'll certainly flesh out a lot more of the elements that you'll run into across the game. So,
all right, looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much.
The stories don't tell where the old ones went. They don't tell us why the machines rule these lands. But they warn us that this balance cannot last. The storm is coming. And I will be ready.